Shalom to everyone. We're learning Zera Shimshon, Parashat SHOFTIM, and today we're holding in Vav Elul, 6th of Elul, which is the yahrzeit of the author, Zera Shimshon. It should be Elul Neshama to Shimshon Chaim, Rabbi Shimshon Chaim ben Rabbi Nachman Michael Nachmani. Rabbi Shimshon Chaim passed away 239 years ago on Vav Elul, 6th of Elul, and he said, whoever will learn on my Neshama, my Sefer, I will pray for him and Hashem will do good to him. Olam hazeh and Olam haba. He's going to have children, grandchildren, Parnasa, Atzlacha, Talmud Torah, Shegadlu B'Torah, V'cheni Ratzon V'Nomar Amen. Today, after having a special week of visiting Avot, Rachel Imenu, Arizal, the whole Tzfat, Tveria, Miron, with so much happiness and holiness, after returning from Selichot, it's close to 3 o'clock in the morning till 20 in the morning. We would like to learn together Zera Shimshon with the Kedusha of Eretz Israel, all the way from Yerushalayim. Letter Gimel in Parashat Shoftim. Perek Bet, the Yomam. It says in the chapter 2 in Gemara Yoma, page 22b, Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Rabbi Yehuda said the name of Shmuel. I would like to take a moment and say Mazal Tov to our dear friend Baruch Avraham ben Avner Yakubov and his family upon the bar mitzvot of their two sons, Yaakov and Yosef. They should become big Talmidei Chachamim. They should grow in Torah mitzvot maasim tovim v'cheni ratzon v'nomar amen. And I would like to wish Mazal Tov to Yosef Ailarov and his whole entire family upon a birth of a baby boy, and also Mazal Tov to Mr. Ariel Tanchorov for becoming a grandfather of another girl for the second time to be grandfather, and also our dear friend Eliyahu Arkasha Eliabayev upon a birth to a grandchild. Hashem should give them bracha v'atzlacha. They should see weddings of these grandchildren and have many more grandchildren, great grandchildren. V'cheni ratzon v'nomar amen. Perek Bet de Yoma. In chapter 2 in Gemara Yoma, page 22b says, Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Rav Yehuda said the name of Shmuel. Mipnei ma lo nimshacha malchut bet Shaul. As we know, we had first king in the history of a Jewish nation, Shaul HaMelech. King Shaul, he was from the tribe of Binyamin. And the second king was already David HaMelech, King David. So Gemara is asking a question: why Shaul's kingdom was not continued to his children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, like David HaMelech? The dynasty of David HaMelech went further. Even after he passed away, his grandchildren were kings. Of course, we know that it says open pasuk in the Torah that only family of Yehuda will be kings and not Binyamin. But once Shaul became a king, at least for one more generation, his son should take over. Why it stopped by Shaul and did not Shaul to his children? Mipnei shelo hayu bo shum dofi. Rav Yehuda says in the name of Shmuel, he says because his children did not have certain derech eretz, a certain kedusha, keeping Torah in full force, and they were keeping, but not the way he was tzaddik. He was so kadosh. Since they didn't keep after him the way he was keeping, they didn't have the merit to do it. So Shaul HaMelech did not have flow of proper children, that they should be perfect from all the sides the way he was. The Amar Rabbi Yochanan, that was opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. Now comes Rabbi Yochanan, Mishum Rabbi Shimon, from the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Yehotzadak. Ein ma'amidin parnas al tzibur. You are not. He gives totally different answers. He says, you know why Shaul HaMelech were not, his children were not kings? Because ein ma'amidin parnas al tzibur ela im ken kupa shel shiratzim tluya bo me'acharau. You're not allowed to appoint a leader, a king in the community, unless you know he's some bad reputation in his generation. Why? She'im tazuach da'ato alav, if he will lose himself and speak to the community with the holiness, with the ga'ava, omrim lo chazor la'achorecha, we tell him, go look back at your ancestors. Look how shameful they were, and why you talking to the people like this? So therefore, that's the reason. Shaul HaMelech, in the back of him, he had perfect generations. David HaMelech had generations that they were not so perfect, as we'll see very soon. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. Third opinion, Rav Yehuda Amar Rav says why Shaul HaMelech did not have children who became king after him. Mipnei Manen Shaul, why Shaul HaMelech was punished. He doesn't look at it as if they don't deserve it, but he gets punished. Mipnei Shemachal al kevodo, because he gave in for his respect. When someone was putting him shame towards him, he did not respond back. So we'll see right now who said to respond back. We know one thing. When someone embarrasses you and you don't answer back, it's good. Because he didn't respond back, he has to get punished. His children should not be kings. Now we have to analyze why Rav and Shmuel are disagreeing. According to Shmuel, why Shaul HaMelech did not have children to be kings after him? Because we said he didn't have flow of proper children. According to Rav, he says because he gave in to about his respect. He was embarrassed and he didn't answer back. Nire. Of course, we need to remember how David HaMelech, he did not have such a good ancestry because of Ruth and because of Tamar. It seems how Tamar lived with her father-in-law, and Ruth converted. So because of these two things, David HaMelech was all the time reminded that his ancestors were like this, so therefore you should keep him humble. But Shaul HaMelech did not have it, and therefore Shaul HaMelech's children did not become kings. We need a lo pligi klal, and we see from here Rav and Shmuel did not argue, did not disagree. So according to Shmuel, his children were not having proper flow of being Eved Hashem fully the way he was. And according to Rav, because he given for his respect. Really, the main reason why Shaul HaMelech got punished, that his children did not become kings, because he gave in for respect. When someone embarrassed him, he didn't answer back. But what Shmuel saying, because his children did not have proper flow of to be perfect as the servants of Hashem, that was already like we call in English, cherry on top. So the real punishment was because Shaul HaMelech, he was quiet and he did not stand for himself when he was embarrassed. And Hashem also added that his children should not have proper flow and there should not be kings after him. If Shaul would have certain shame about his ancestors, okay, he would say, why should I answer back? I'm embarrassed to say something because my grandmother or great grandmother was not having such a good reputation. But why is he sitting quiet? Why he was embarrassed and he's sitting quiet? There's no problems about this generation. So if you would have ancestor that has problems like Ruth or Tamar, then when people tell them, hey, why are you answering back to us? Look at your back. Look at your ancestors. They were not having such a good name. But now, Shalom does not have any problems about his generations. But so he shouldn't have be quiet. He should have stick for himself and not let himself to be embarrassed. We'll see right now what we're talking about, how he got embarrassed. We still have a question. Really, the fact that he was embarrassed and did not answer back, he did good. Because when that day he was appointed to be a king, and the whole nation said, our king, long live the king. But really they did not give him respect as a king. It says, and Shmuel, the prophet, sent everyone, each man should go to his house. And also Shaul went to his own house. And with him went soldiers. Asher naga Elohim belibam, that Hashem touched their hearts. Uvnei Belial Amru, but we see from here only few soldiers. The soldiers went, and only few people that their heart was touched by Shaul. Only they went with Shaul to home, but not every man went. So we see from here they did not respect him. If they would say king went home, we're all following him, we're all going with him, that's the respect. But when he's going, and few soldiers are going, few soldiers of the army, and few people who were touched by him going, but the rest, people who were Blial, those fools, that they were talking bad about him, and they said, we're not going to follow him, who said he should be king upon us? They did not follow the rule. They embarrassed the king. And he said quiet. He should have been speaking something and put them in a place, and he said quiet. Those people with the bad hearts, they said, why should we follow him? But really, what should it be done? King is going, the whole nation must follow. But here, nobody went, even half of the congregation didn't go. Only few soldiers, Elohim, that they were touched, Hashem touched their hearts. Only few soldiers went with him home. The rest, everybody stood the way they were staying. So he's going home with a shame face, nobody's following him. So it shows that the community did not accept him as a king with a pure heart, with a full-hearted. As our rabbis explain, Shaul was not desired, wanted. He was not wanted by whole Jewish nation. Because later on it says, so let's make a new circle, new round, and we'll accept our kingdom, the kingdom of our king, fully, with the whole heart. Why? Because when he was appointed first time, nobody accepted full-hearted. Later on they wanted to accept already. But the question is, if they didn't accept full-hearted, why he said quiet? He doesn't have problems with his generations. So why is he sitting quiet? He's not going to sit quiet. How we learned already, this is a big lesson for life. Atzat HaZakenim, in the prophets, our elders gave advice. Im hayom tiye eved. If you sit quiet today, if you will not answer back today, if you will act like a servant today, la'am hazeh, to this nation, va'ayu lecha la'avadim, they will be tomorrow your servants. So Shaul HaMelech said, yes, they're hurting me, they're embarrassing me, they're not following the rules, but if I'll sit quiet now, tomorrow I'm going to be king over them. So he did proper thing. If he did proper thing, why children should not be kings after him? She'en ra'ui lamelech la'arot din u'mishpat betchilat malchuto. Really? It's not proper for a king to show the judgment of the laws and strictness upon the community as soon as he becomes king. Even by Torah scholar, it says in Gemara Yoma page 22b, Kol Talmid Chacham she'eno nokem v'noter kenachash eno Talmid Chacham. Any Torah scholar that does not revenge like a snake, he's not a Torah scholar. So Shaul is Torah scholar and Shaul is a king. Why is he not doing anything back? Why is he not answering anything back? And I don't understand. I thought Torah scholars should be sitting quiet all the time. Why should he answer back? Over there, Gemara Steinsaltz explains, and he says, we're talking about two different things here. If someone touches your money as a Torah scholar, you have chance to be quiet and not answering back. But if someone touches your honor is Hashem's honor. Once your honor is Hashem's honor, it's a sin for you to sit quiet and keep it in your heart. Once you keep it in your heart, you have to lay it out. Why? Because this is not your respect, this is Hashem's respect. But if we're talking about your respect, it's a mitzvah to not answer back anything. Makshim Hatam, Me'ai Dan Elavim Ve'enam Olvim, as Gemara Shabbat, page 88b says, if one gets insulted and does not insult, he will have zechut to be coming out like sun, because sun, when moon spoke Lashon Hara about the sun, he did not answer anything, and tomorrow he woke up, he came up like a strong, powerful sun, 15,000 times stronger than the moon, and moon was lowered. Why it happened to the sun this way? Because he said quiet. Umaskin Olam, the nakid lebelibe, but really Shmuel, he had a different problem. He forgave the people, but it was really bothering in his heart. Shaul, naked lebelibe. When something plays out in your heart, you're allowed to revenge. You're allowed to, not revenge, you're allowed to answer back for the honor of Hashem. But not the person. Honor, you're not talking about money. Shenemar, vayiki macharish. And it was like he was acting deaf. What do you mean like? It should have said the prophets in Shmuel Aleph, chapter 10, the verse 27, and he was like a deaf. What do you mean, like a deaf? He should be, and he was deaf. And Shmuel was deaf. Why it says he was like a deaf? Really, he did not forgive them fully. Really, it was standing in his heart and bothering him. Therefore, he's not worthy to get punished. So once it's really bothering him, and he did not forgive fully, why should he get punished and his sons should not be kings? That's the question. And the answer is, really? A king, because of his kingdom, he's not allowed to be forgiving his honor. Mishum the kvar haya nivchar me'akadosh baruch hu lamelech. Who appointed Shaul HaMelech to be king? Nobody else. Only Hashem appointed him to be king. So once he's giving away his honor, he's giving away Hashem's honor. He's not allowed to be quiet. And really, Jewish people, by force, against their will, they should respect him anyway. Why? Because Hashem appointed him to be king. And I don't even need that reason. If today he's going to sit quiet, he's not going to answer, tomorrow he's going to be their king. Because Hashem appointed him to be king. L'shanihatam Berchavam Shayatahu Berchilatam Shel Israel. But really, Lechavam's case, son of Shlomo, his case was different. He appointed himself to be a king. So if someone would answer back, he's supposed to be not answering anything. Why? Because that's his respect, that's not Hashem's respect. By Shaul HaMelech, Shaul became king because Hashem wanted him to be king. So if he's sitting quiet, he's touching Hashem's honor. Rechavam, grandson of David HaMelech, he made himself to be a king. He split David HaMelech dynasty. Yes, even though it was from Shamayim, but really he took action. Once he did it, he wants his own honor. It's his own honor, it's not the honor of Hashem. But really, as we said just now, that David HaMelech dynasty should be split anyway. אבל כאן, הכבוד שלו הוא של הקדוש ברוך הוא. By Shaul HaMelech, he was not supposed to be being quiet. He should have speak up and let everyone wake up and follow him after wherever he goes. Because not respecting him is not respecting Hashem. And because of this, Shaul HaMelech got punished. Because he sat quiet when he was embarrassed as a king who has honor of Hashem, he sat quiet, he got punished. His children should not be kings. Hu lo chalek vod l'malchut. Be'etchem alotam b'nei Belial. Look how Hashem does things midah k'neged midah. You, Shaul, at the beginning of your kingdom, you don't care about honor of Hashem, but you care about what this dirty heart people say. Shelo haya ra'ud lachem aleim. He should not be having mercy towards them. But because he had mercy towards them, look at midah k'neged midah he had. משומח הנה אינה שבא לידו עניין אחר, כיוצא בזה ממש שריכים על העמלקים. Once he had mercy towards these dirty heart people, when he needed to go and do the mission, kill all the Amalekim, he began having heart for them. Hashem says, once you had heart for dirty people, you're gonna have heart for dirty people again. That will be a punishment. And this is the reason why Shaul HaMelech did not kill all the Amalekim. And Agag turned himself into a sheep, and this is why all the Amalekim survived till today. And because Shaul HaMelech had extra mercy towards these Rashaim, he lost his kingdom. After him, no descendants took over. Even though he was Talmid Chacham, he didn't do the proper thing. Because Rashi explains, Hatam over there, Al, the naked believer, because he was carrying in his heart, it still bothered him a little. Because he wants to teach us, if somebody wants to come and give revenge by the state of law, he should be quiet. Imken, lebesef kshe'amru ha'am el Shmuel, in the end when people say to Shmuel, Mi ha'omer, Shaul yimloch aleinu, who was the one that said Shaul should be king over us? Tnu anashim unmitem hayalo nishlok. So they said, Shmuel, give us the people who appointed him to be king over us. We're going to kill those people right now. Shmuel that time should say, hey, shh, be quiet. Hashem said it. Or just don't say anything. V'ula second. But Shmuel did not do this. Shmuel said, Shaul lo yumat ish b'yomazeh. Shaul said, listen, we're not killing anybody. So they thought, so some people appointed him. And he's not worthy to be king. He should have said, hey, Hashem appointed him, be quiet. We're not talking about anybody. But he said, no, we're not killing anybody. Means there are some people who appointed him, and not Hashem. Therefore, it caused more fire towards people to hate Shaul and did not agree to his kingship. As we sang the last piece, I'm trying to explain something. If you're real Ben Torah and you're Talmid Chacham, and someone embarrasses you for the Torah reasons, not personal reasons, there's no mitzvah to be quiet. Why? Because you're hurting Hashem's name. But if you have certain negiut towards this, if you have personal interest, or some money, or some different things, then you have mitzvah to be quiet. It's not easy to be quiet. Sometimes people do often say stuff to you that you don't deserve. Sometimes people do put you down. Sometimes people do send you nasty, dirty text messages without thinking what they're saying. And yet, you have mitzvah to be quiet. And it's not easy. But if you do it, there's definitely, Hashem has a reward for you. As we're approaching the last piece, let's put the fingers on the words. Ba'od, Shara Rambam Pasak. Rambam mit Psak Halacha in Perek Zayin, Melchot Talmud Torah Halacha Yud Gimel. Chapter 7, Laws of Torah Learning, the Law 13. The Talmid Chacham shebizu b'tzin'ah. If Talmid Chacham was embarrassed in the private, midat chasidut hu limchol. If he wants to be a pious man, forgive it. But for Hesia, if Talmid Chacham was embarrassed in public, asur lo limchol. He's not allowed to forgive. Why? Because this is honor of Hashem. V'kan habizu haya b'farhesia. By Shaul's laws also, in public people did not follow his rule. And he said, quiet. This is the reason he got punished. Even though somebody who is embarrassing and shaming a Talmid Chacham in public, he's not obligated to get killed from Shamayim. Mikol makom hayalo letzarev b'zeh bizayon malchut. Therefore, but still, we include in this the shaming not only Talmid Chacham, but shaming Hashem's kingdom. Afal gav she'adayin lo kiblu aleim legamre. Here, by shaming Shaul, they shamed Hashem by not accepting kingdom of Shaul upon themselves, and therefore it's considered that they did sin and they did great sin. He should have stopped them. He didn't stop them. He was involved in the shaming Hashem's honor. This is the reason his children did not become kings. But again, as we said, Shaul HaMelech was very, very holy person. He was following the path of Rachel Amenu. Rachel was tzniut. She was very humble. She was very quiet. No matter what she saw her father was doing to Leah on the account of Rachel, she said quiet. Because she was tzniut, she was modest. Hashem gave her great grandchild, Shaul HaMelech. He was also very modest. If Shaul HaMelech would to use bathroom, he would go into the cave, and from that cave he would go inside to another cave and hide himself, because he was very, very modest. Hashem should help us to be modest. Be careful not to shame anyone in any matter, no matter what happens, and approach Yom Adin with the Kiddusha and Tahara. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Amen.